Hello, okay, so I'm going to be talking today about skincare and about the things that you can do to prepare yourself for your wedding day or for occasion, or just generally what you can do to look after your skin better, because there's so many things that people have been asking me lately about what they should do and things like that. Okay, so first of all I want to apologise about the lighting. My husband's doing a few bits and bobs around the house and taking the extension lead for the lamp that powers the light that I use, but that's fine. The look that I've got on now is a tutorial that I've got going to be posting soon. It's a kind of 20s tutorial inspired by the film The Great Gatsby, which I've just seen, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I thoroughly recommend going to see it because it's brilliant. Let's talk about skincare. So the first thing you want to do is look and kind of see what kind of skin that you currently what kind of skin you currently have. Is it dry? Is it combination? Is it oily? Is it do you suffer from breakouts? What kind of skin do you have? Now, one thing I definitely would recommend you do at least twice on the run up to within the month on the run up to the wedding is have a facial. Now, I have a hydration facial because despite the fact that I have quite oily skin, my skin produces a lot of oils because I have quite dry skin or quite dehydrated skin, so it's producing oils to kind of compensate for that. So my skin is incredibly dehydrated. So for example, today I had a full facial and a mask of cream is put on my face, and literally my beautician Leanne showed me the mirror, and a good part of this had gone. The cream had gone, the mask had gone, and this was kind of around, a bit patchy, and I always have really dry side on this side, so it just goes to show that how much my skin was drinking. So my current skincare routine is as follows, and it is what I believe to be the best. Okay, one thing that I absolutely cannot stand is wipes. Seriously, save your wipes for like a festival or for cleaning your bum or for your baby. Seriously, wipes are disgusting. They are not a good thing to use. People say, "Oh, I use wipes because I'm in a rush." Honestly, if you've got time to wipe, you've got time to cleanse. You have time. If you've got time to do half the things you do when you go to the toilet, wash your hands, you have time to cleanse. So what I use is just an ordinary kind of gel or oil cleanser. So first of all, I'll use an oil cleanser. I use the Sanctuary one at the moment. I'm going through trying a few others. There's one, I'm really into this brand at the moment, Aveda, and they have an oil cleanser which I'm going to try. MAC also have one, but the one I use is Sanctuary. Shumara do one as well, which is kind of the more popular one because they were the first to bring them out, I think. But seriously, don't waste your money. You can get just as good for cheaper, for less. So what I do is you should always, when you cleanse, is always do dry to dry. So whether it's a gel or an oil, don't use foam, whatever you do, and I'll tell you why in a minute. If it's a gel or an oil, put it on your hand and massage it onto the face. Round your eyes, take off your eye makeup. Don't bother with eye makeup removers because they are such a waste of time. They're going to just irritate your skin more, put more extra product that your skin doesn't need. When you can, a good cleanser, especially an oil, should be able to remove all of that. So you just cleanse all over, and then what you want to do is get a flannel. Go to like somewhere cheap and cheerful, Poundland or Primark or wherever, and just buy a pack of towels to last you a good week. And then for each day you want to wet the flannel with some really warm, like almost hot, bearable water, and just wipe off and just rinse that off and keep doing that until all the cleanser has been removed. And then what you want to do is you don't dry it because you've still got moisture on there for when you've wiped off, is you want to use an exfoliant. I wouldn't recommend using a scrub. Maybe do that once or twice a month if you have to. I don't think that scrubs are very nice. They can make they can be the reason why you get a lot of redness around the nose, kind of broken capillaries and things like that, and can just kind of be a bit abrasive on the skin when you can do it in other ways. So one thing that I like to use is a toner. A toner is not just there to remove the last traces of your makeup. It isn't. It is actually something that should be replacing and restoring the pH levels in your skin. So I like to use this Botanics exfoliator, and it's actually a cleansing toner, and the main ingredient in it, or in any toner you should be looking at, is salicylic acid, and that is a very light. You'll just take that on some cotton wool and just go over your skin. It's a very, very light kind of astringent that will just take away any kind of the top residue layer on your face. And lightly, gently exfoliate. Clarins do a really good one. I think there's a couple of other places that do one. But what you want to look for is Paula's Choice as well online do it. And of course Aveda, they do this. So I use this and go over. Go to Boots, just look for like an astringent exfoliator, and then that should work fine. As soon as I've done that, I then go over it with a kind of tonic spray. This will kind of it has antioxidants in it that should get rid of all the kind of bacteria that was left on your skin after exfoliating. So I just do a light mist with that. Now there is like I use a lot of the La Roche-Posay thermal waters or thermal water sprays. They do one that has selenium. Is it selenium? Yeah. Cerezinc. Selenium, what am I talking about? Cerezinc in it. And Cerezinc, again, is like a light kind of astringent kind of antibiotic. It has antioxidant that will do this kind of the same as this. Le Posay sell one, but you can't get it in the UK, and it's really hard to get hold of. But this is a set, and this kind of does the same thing, and this will just kill the bacteria that you've just exfoliated off the skin. So once you've done that and you've spritzed your face, don't dry it, just leave it to kind of dry. Maybe pat it off if you feel like you have to, and then go in with a moisturiser. So I tend to use a very I use a hydrating moisturiser. At the moment I'm using so many. So at the moment, for example, I am testing out the Botanical Kinetics by Aveda. This does have, it is oil based, I think, and the simple one as well. And one thing you want to look at is if it says Hydra or something like that, something that involves kind of hydrating your skin. So you want to use that, whether you're oily, combination, whatever, that's what you want to use. That's what I would advise. And then of course facials. I sometimes use this in between each stage, or even sometimes this, it's kind of the same thing. I use it in between each stage because then you're layering the moisture levels up, and so you're keeping that moisture in. You're not kind of wiping it off and drying it off, because that's just taking the moisture out. Also, if you one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to dry your face or wait for your face to dry, because if you spritz your face with a water or something like this, like a mist or Mac Fix Plus, something like that, if you spray it and then leave it to dry, then what's going to happen is it's going to evaporate, and it will take out the moisture that's already on your face. So you don't want it to dry. You want to then apply your moisturiser on top. So that's, yeah, there you go. That's what I would recommend. Oh yes, don't use foams. The reason you don't use foams, anything with foaming in it, whatever it is that makes it foam, I don't know what the ingredient is, but there's some kind of ingredient that makes the formulation foam, that on the skin causes it to become really, really, really super alkaline. And when you have an alkaline surface, it's basically like an absolute breeding ground for bacteria, or like, if you can imagine like a petri dish on your face, that's basically how your face is going to be. And you don't want that, because you're just going to get bacteria and growth on your skin, and it's just going to cause you to break out, even though the cleanser is designed so you don't break out. So you just stay well away from foaming cleansers or anything like that. And so that's about it. And of course facials, eat your moisture. If you've got really, really dry skin, eat your moisture. You'll get more for your skin by eating food with water in it than you will from drinking food. From drinking, you will get more moisture from eating foods, so like cucumbers and the usual kind of things. If you just look online, there's loads of foods that contain lots of water that will help rehydrate your skin. And again, like I've said, facials, hydrating facials, particularly with dry skin, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to put foundation on really, really dry or dehydrated skin. What's going to happen is your face is going to absorb any moisturising properties in the foundation and leave kind of blotchy patches all over your skin, and you really don't want to do that. It's just it looks horrendous. And so the best thing that I could advise would be your skincare. previous and prior to your wedding, also, or your occasion. Also sleep, get tons and tons of sleep. That's going to really eliminate kind of dark circles. Use eye creams. It's so expensive, but my favourite eye cream is the Advanced Night Repair by Estee Lauder. This works for me. It works really, really well. Like I said, it's not cheap, but a little does go a long way. I am going to do some more research into eye creams and things like that, so stay tuned. Other than that, there's not really much else I can recommend. Thanks, bye!